Ladies and gentlemen, let me start with a truth that might sting a little. Not everyone who asks for your help deserves your help. That sounds harsh, doesn't it? Because we are raised to believe that kindness means saying yes, that compassion means rescuing, and that love means carrying the weight of others on our backs. But here's the reality. If you keep giving your strength to people who refuse to stand on their own, you are not helping them, you are enabling them. This speech is not about shutting your heart off. It's about opening your eyes. It's about recognizing the difference between people who genuinely need a hand up and people who will happily drag you down just to avoid climbing themselves. If you don't learn that difference, you will spend your life exhausted, drained, and resentful while they remain exactly the same. So today, I'm here to tell you that real strength is not in how much you give, but in knowing who not to give to. Because when you stop pouring into the wrong people, you finally have the energy, the time, and the courage to invest in the right ones. And most importantly, in yourself. There comes a point in life where you must decide who deserves your energy and who does not. And one of the hardest truths you will ever learn is this: not everyone who asks for your help deserves your help. There are people in your life who will constantly pull, constantly take, constantly demand, yet never give anything back in return. I call them the energy drainers. You know who I'm talking about? They're the ones who are always surrounded by problems. Every day is a new crisis. Every week is a new emergency. And somehow it always lands on your shoulders. At first, you think you're doing the right thing. You think you're being strong, being kind, being the dependable person who shows up no matter what. You carry their burden, you listen to their complaints, you offer solutions, you give your time, your focus, your strength. But over time, something begins to shift. You notice that the problems don't get smaller, they get bigger. The drama doesn't fade, it grows louder. And your own strength doesn't increase, it starts to disappear. That's because you're not actually helping them. You're feeding them. You're pouring your energy into a bottomless pit, and no matter how much you give, it will never be enough. They don't want to climb on their own. They want you to drag them. They don't want to build their own strength. They want to borrow yours. And ladies and gentlemen, if you keep giving them your strength, one day you will wake up with nothing left for yourself. Think about it. Have you ever left a conversation and felt completely drained, as if the life was sucked right out of you? That wasn't an accident. That was the effect of someone who thrives on taking from others. They leave lighter because you leave heavier. They leave calmer because you leave more stressed. They leave satisfied because you leave exhausted. That is not helping. That is being used. And here is the most dangerous part. If you don't learn to draw the line, if you don't learn to protect your energy, you will spend your entire life serving the needs of others while completely neglecting your own. You'll be running on empty, chasing after people who aren't even trying to walk, while your own dreams, your own goals, your own potential dies quietly in the background. Now, I am not saying we should never help people. Life is hard, and every one of us will go through moments where we need a hand. True compassion is lifting people when they fall. But there is a difference between someone who is down temporarily and someone who has chosen to stay down permanently. There is a difference between someone who is fighting but needs support and someone who has no fight in them at all. The first person needs encouragement. The second person needs boundaries. And that is where many of us fail, because we think saying no is selfish. We think setting limits means we don't care. But the truth is the opposite. Saying no is sometimes the most loving thing you can do. Because as long as you keep rescuing someone who refuses to rescue themselves, they will never grow. They will never change. They will never take responsibility for their own life. You are not helping them. You are enabling them. Imagine a child who never learns to walk because their parent always carries them. At first, it looks like love. It looks like protection. But what happens when that child grows up? They are weak. They are dependent. They are incapable of moving forward on their own. That's exactly what happens when you carry energy drainers through life. You are not sparing them from pain. You are robbing them of growth. And while you are busy carrying them, who is carrying you? While you are busy pouring into their cup, who is filling yours? The answer, too often, is no one. You end up empty, exhausted, resentful, wondering why your life feels stuck. And the answer is simple. It's because you spent all your energy keeping someone else comfortable in their weakness instead of investing in your own strength. So what must you do? You must draw the line. You must learn to say the word no with courage, with clarity, and with confidence. Not because you don't care, but because you care too much to let your life be wasted. Not because you are cold, but because you are wise. Protecting your peace is not selfish, it's survival. Guarding your energy is not cruel, it's necessary. Because when you stop pouring into the wrong people, you finally have the strength to pour into the right ones. You have the energy to build your dreams, to invest in relationships that matter, to pursue goals that give your life meaning. You have the freedom to grow, to rise, to become the person you were always meant to be. And here's the most powerful part: when you stop rescuing the energy drainers, some of them will finally be forced to rescue themselves. Some of them will finally feel the weight of their choices, and for the first time, they may actually decide to change. That is not cruelty. That is tough love. That is not rejection. That is respect. Respect for yourself, and ultimately, respect for them. Ladies and gentlemen, life is short. Your time is precious. Your energy is sacred. Do not waste it on people who refuse to value it. Do not let your light be dimmed by those who choose to live in darkness. Do not let your strength be drained by those who will not even try to stand. The next time an energy drainer shows up with another crisis, another complaint, another request, remember this: you are not obligated to set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. You are not obligated to lose yourself just to save someone who has no intention of changing. You owe yourself the same love, the same effort, the same compassion that you so freely give to others. So protect your energy. Guard your peace. Say no when you must, because when you stop giving your strength to the wrong people, you finally have the power to give it to the right ones. And most importantly, you finally have the strength to give it back to yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, do not help the energy drainers, even if they ask you. Because the moment you stop carrying their weight, you finally have the freedom to carry your own dreams. There is another type of person you must learn to recognize, another type you must refuse to carry, another type you must walk away from even when they beg for your time, your effort, your attention. These are the comfortable complainers. They are everywhere. They are in your circle of friends. They sit at your workplace. Sometimes they even sit at your own dinner table. And they all share one thing in common: they have mastered the art of talking about their problems, but never doing anything about them. They live in a cycle of complaint, a loop of excuses, a world where they are always the victim and never the fighter. Now, listen closely. Complaining is not the problem. We all complain. We all get frustrated. We all get disappointed. We all get overwhelmed. But the difference is this: some people complain as a way to release stress before they get back up and do something. Others complain because that is their comfort zone. That is their safe place. That is where they live. The comfortable complainer doesn't want solutions. They don't want growth. They don't want change. They want an audience. They want someone to listen, to nod, to agree that life is unfair. They want to stay where they are while you spend your energy trying to move them forward. And here's the catch: they will keep asking for your help. They will take your time. They will take your advice. They will take your energy. But when it's time to act, they will find a reason not to. Have you ever noticed how a comfortable complainer always has an excuse ready? Offer them a book to read, and they'll tell you they don't have time. Suggest a solution, and they'll explain why it won't work. Point out a way forward, and they'll say, "Yes, but you don't understand my situation." They are not looking for doors. They are looking for walls. They are not looking for a way out. They are looking for validation to stay stuck. And the more you invest in them, the more you enable them. Every hour you spend listening to their excuses is an hour you could have spent building your own dreams. Every time you carry their burdens, you are teaching them that they don't have to carry their own. Every time you give them your strength, you are giving them permission to stay weak. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a painful truth. Some people don't actually want to change. They want to complain about not changing. They don't actually want to climb. They want to stand at the bottom of the mountain and talk about how unfair the climb is. If you're not careful, they will keep you standing there with them, wasting your life in conversations that go nowhere. The danger of helping comfortable complainers is not just what it does to them. It's what it does to you. Because while you are busy trying to fix them, Your own progress slows down. While you are busy listening to their complaints, your own vision gets clouded. While you are busy carrying their excuses, your own opportunities pass you by. And slowly, you begin to shrink your own dreams just to match their small mindset. This is why you must stop. You must stop trying to fix people who are committed to being broken. You must stop trying to motivate people who are committed to staying the same. You must stop pouring into people who will not even lift a finger to pour into themselves. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, but what if they get mad at me? What if they think I don't care? Let me tell you something, caring is not the same as carrying. You can care about someone and still say no. You can love someone and still refuse to enable them. In fact, sometimes the most loving thing you can do is step back and let them face the reality of their choices. Because here's the truth. Comfort is the enemy of growth. As long as a complainer is comfortable, they will never change. As long as they have someone to listen endlessly, they will never act. As long as they have someone to carry their excuses, they will never take responsibility. But when you step back, when you stop feeding their comfort zone, they are forced to face the discomfort of staying stuck. And sometimes it is that discomfort that finally wakes them up. Ladies and gentlemen, life is too short to spend it babysitting excuses. Your time is too precious to waste it listening to the same complaints over and over with no intention of change. Your energy is too valuable to invest in people who have no desire to grow. Every moment you give to a comfortable complainer is a moment stolen from your own potential, your own goals, your own destiny. So the choice is yours. You can spend your life being the audience to someone else's complaints, or you can spend it being the author of your own success. You can waste your energy fueling excuses, or you can use it to fuel your own progress. But you cannot do both. The next time a comfortable complainer comes to you with their long list of problems, their endless reasons why life is unfair, remember this: you are not obligated to listen. You are not obligated to solve. You are not obligated to waste your strength on someone who refuses to use theirs. Protect your energy. Guard your vision. Save your time. Because when you stop feeding the comfortable complainers, you free yourself to feed your own growth. You free yourself to build your own dreams. You free yourself to live a life of action instead of a life of excuses. Ladies and gentlemen, do not help the comfortable complainers even if they ask you. Because while they are busy talking about what's wrong, you will be busy building what's right.